Hi, I'm Gerardo. I'm here with the Mass readings for Wednesday, November 15th, 2017, Wednesday of the 32nd week in Ordinary Time, from the Lectionary 493. The first reading is from the Book of Wisdom, chapter 6, verses 1 through 11. Hear, O kings, and understand. Learn, you magistrates of the earth's expanse. Hearken, you who are in power over the multitude, and lord it over throngs of peoples. Because authority was given you by the Lord, and sovereignty by the Most High, who shall probe your works and scrutinize your counsels. Because though you were ministers of his kingdom, you judged not rightly, and did not keep the law, nor walk according to the will of God. Terribly and swiftly shall he come against you, because judgment is stern for the exalted. For the lowly may be pardoned out of mercy, but the mighty shall be mightily put to the test. For the Lord of awe shows no partiality, nor does he fear greatness, because he himself made the great as well as the small, and he provides for all alike. But for those in power, a rigorous scrutiny impends. To you, therefore, O princess, are my words addressed, that you may learn wisdom, and that you may not sin. For those who keep the holy precepts hallowed shall be found holy, and those learned in them will have ready a response. Desire therefore my words, long for them, and you shall be instructed. The word of the Lord. The responsorial psalm. Today's responsorial psalm is Psalm 82. The response is, Rise up, O God, bring judgment to the earth. Rise up, O God, bring judgment to the earth. Defend the lowly and the fatherless. Render justice to the afflicted and the destitute. Rescue the lowly and the poor. From the hand of the wicked, deliver them. Rise up, O God, bring judgment to the earth. I said, You are gods, all of you sons of the Most High. Yet, like men, you shall die, and fall like any prince. Rise up, O God, bring judgment to the earth. Today's Gospel is the Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 17, verses 11 through 19. As Jesus continued his journey to Jerusalem, he traveled through Samaria and Galilee. As he was entering a village, 10 lepers met him. They stood at a distance from him and raised their voice, saying, Jesus, Master, have pity on us. And when he saw them, he said, Go, show yourselves to the priests. As they were going, they were cleansed, and one of them, realizing he had been healed, returned, glorifying God in a loud voice. And he fell at the feet of Jesus and thanked him. He was a Samaritan. Jesus said in reply, 10 were cleansed, were they not? Where are the other 9? Has none but this foreigner returned to give thanks to God? Then he said to him, Stand up and go. Your faith has saved you. The Gospel of the Lord.
The reflection. As Jesus enters a village, he is greeted by 10 lepers who come out to meet him. They stood some way off. As lepers, they were compelled to cry out, Unclean, and to ring a bell when they saw people approaching. People in those days did not know much about the causes or the nature of leprosy, but they did know that it was contagious. No cure was known, and it slowly ate away at the extremities. So those who were believed to have leprosy had to keep a safe distance from all other people. They were treated as outcasts, forced to live on the fringes of society, an object of both fear and contempt. Still, some distance from Jesus, they called out in desperation, Jesus, Master, take pity on us. Kyrie eleison. They had no illusions about their helpless situation. Their only hope now was the compassion of Jesus, their Master and Lord, who was the living embodiment of the mercy and compassion of God, a mercy and compassion they had long ceased to expect from their fellow citizens. Jesus makes no fuss. He simply tells them to go and show yourselves to the priests. On their way to carry out this instruction, they discovered that they were cleansed and healed. Clearly, this was a reward for their unquestioning and trusting response to Jesus' instructions, a reward for their faith in Him. And why did Jesus tell them to go to the priests? Because it was not enough for them to be healed. They would also have to be officially declared clean by the religious authorities. Only then could they be fully integrated back into normal society. Only one comes back. Finding himself cured, just one of the group went back, praising God at the top of his voice, threw himself at the feet of Jesus and expressed his deepest thanks for what had happened to him. The man was a Samaritan. Much of the punch of the story is in those 5 words. As a Samaritan, he belonged to a hated and despised group. In this case, he was an outcast twice over. Even the disciples of Jesus were heard to speak violent words against Samaritans. And it says a lot for the miserable lot of lepers that there could be Jews and Samaritans together in one group. In their shared misery, other prejudices were forgotten. Yet, after they were cured, it was not the members of God's chosen people who came back to express thanks to their Lord, but this outcast, a man who would be regarded as an outcast in Jewish society. Even if he did not have leprosy, it was a foretaste of the future composition of the Christian communities. Jesus highlights this fact by his own reaction. Were not all 10 made clean? The other 9, where are they? It seems that no one has come back to give praise to God except this foreigner, this alien, this outsider, and by implication, this godless pagan. A person who is presumed to be far from God is the one who is most deeply aware of God's action in his life. We too, in our time, must have met non-Christians who had a much better sense of God working in their lives than some of us who carry the label Catholic. Rise up and go on your way. Your faith has saved you. The man is called to resurrection, to new life, and to walk the way of Jesus. His deep insight into what he has experienced has been a saving experience for him. There is far more here than physical healing. The whole person has been fully restored in his relationships both with God and with his neighbors and the community. A message for us. On reflection, this passage can say so much to us in our own lives. Thanks for listening. Have a blessed day.